Legend of Tarzan is a new movie based off the Edgar Rice Burroughs stories of Tarzan, not the Disney movie Tarzan. I swear there's one guy who literally complained about how it wasn't similar to the original Tarzan movie. That was pretty much the whole review. It's not based off that movie. That movie is different than the Edgar Rice Burroughs stories. This is based off the actual stories, okay? Okay. Just wanted to clear that up. Let's move on. In this movie, Alexander Skarsgård plays Tarzan, and it's been 8 years since he's been in the jungle. He's now lived a civilized life with Jane, played by Margot Robbie, but when a man named Leon, played by Christoph Waltz, kidnaps Jane in order to lure Tarzan back to some chief so they can fight and Christoph can get money and all that, Tarzan then has to venture into the Congo to save his wife, and he has to team up with Samuel L. Jackson. Now, when I found out that there was a movie called The Legend of Tarzan coming out this year, I wasn't particularly looking forward to it. However, that first trailer actually surprised me a lot. For someone who wasn't looking forward to it at first, that trailer really won me over, and I really started to anticipate this movie, especially since I found out that the director, David Yates, he did the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Harry Potter film, and he's doing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them later this year. So automatically, I actually got pretty excited for this movie, and walking out, I was a little disappointed. This movie is fine. It's fine. There's some things that are good about it, but there are some things that I didn't really like about it. I think they could have done a lot better with a Tarzan movie, but they did fine. It's okay. As for the things I liked, Alexander Skarsgård I think really did fit into this role. He's really tall, really muscular, and I thought he did a really good job playing the title character. And Margot Robbie as Jane, I was actually pretty surprised by how entertaining she was as a character, since Jane is the damsel in distress in this movie, but she's feisty about it, so I actually enjoyed that aspect. Samuel L. Jackson is by far the most lighthearted and entertaining character. He has the most jokes. He is the bright spot of this pretty dark movie. As far as the action scenes go, it was really fun seeing Tarzan swing on vines. It was really fun seeing him fight an ape at one point. It is really cool to see, and I think David Yates did a good job with the direction of them. My big flaw with the movie is that it's really inconsistent with the fun and the overly dark. Because besides Samuel L. Jackson popping jokes every once in a while and some really fun, well-crafted action scenes, this movie is overly dark. Unnecessarily overly dark for a Tarzan movie. It's not that I'm opposed to a more dark story about Tarzan, it's just I think they went a little too overly dark on it. And because of that, I couldn't really get attached to the plot of this movie, especially before they go back to the jungle, because I gotta be honest, seeing a civilized Tarzan, I thought that'd be pretty cool to see. It was actually pretty boring. Luckily, we're not there the whole time. We actually get into the jungle fairly quickly. I'd say like 20 minutes in, they actually went back to Africa, and I was like, okay, things are gonna start picking up. No. Whenever there isn't an action scene going on, I found myself actually kind of bored with this film. As much as I actually liked Alexander Skarsgård as the role of Tarzan, I couldn't really get attached to his character all that much. They did the Man of Steel thing where during the actual story they will occasionally flash back to the past for a bit, and to be honest, I would have much rather have seen that movie instead of this one. That movie seems a lot more interesting than this movie. Christoph Waltz, what's up with your string of disappointing villains? Psst, spoiler alert. Inspector, he turned out to be playing Ernst Stavro Blofeld, an actual famous James Bond character, and then he turned out to be barely in the movie, and I just couldn't really get behind that villain. He was just kind of weak. But in this movie, he plays a villain who wants money. No backstory, nothing really good about his character, just, oh look, he's got beads on his wrist that can choke a man out. Ooh. His character and what he was doing in this movie made it even harder for me to get attached to it because it was just so generic. I couldn't care for this villain. There's nothing special about him. And in some ways, I think the movie didn't really care about its own story too, because there are some subplots that felt really rushed. Like how Tarzan is kind of reconnecting to the apes. I thought that was really rushed. There's one subplot involving the chief that kind of hates Tarzan for spoiler reasons. It's just things like that that happen in this movie, and if the movie doesn't really care about these subplots, then why should I? This is one of the things I was actually looking forward to in this movie, were the visuals. In the trailers, I thought the visuals actually looked really good. In the actual movie, however, they're alright. And I mean, they are just alright. There are some shots I'm like, okay, that actually looks like a really good shot of that ape, and then that ape would start moving, and jumping, and punching. It's like, oh, no. The visual effects aren't horrible or anything. I have seen worse visual effects, trust me. It's just they weren't all that good either. And there are even some shots where you can tell that there's a green screen there. Like, they probably didn't even go on location anywhere. They were probably in a soundstage the whole time filming this movie. But I can't say this is really a bad movie. It's just, it's not all that good either. This is coming from a guy who really wanted to like this movie. I was actually really looking forward to seeing this movie, and I was really disappointed by it. I'm gonna give The Legend of Tarzan a C+. There are good performances in this movie. Even though I didn't really like Christoph Waltz's character, he is a good actor and he was good in the role. Everyone was good. It's just the movie couldn't get me interested in the Tarzan character. They couldn't make Christoph Waltz an actual threatening villain, and the movie just couldn't really win me over and have me be attached to actually what was going on. But if you saw The Legend of Tarzan, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it. And reminder, I'm going to be reviewing Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 before I see the new remake, because I'm going to be on vacation when the remake comes out, so those reviews will tide you over. I watched the first Ghostbusters a couple days ago in preparation for the review. Now I just need to watch 2 and then I'm ready. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.